Where is that stink bug? I know I seen him earlier. Oh well. Gotta get lucky every once in a while, don't you?
Hey, yo, hello, good morning, YouTube. How we doing? Jason Knierim here. I appreciate you stopping by. But it's been a while since I showed you my garden. I think it was like back in May when I first planted it. You know, I got a late start. Here in 6A grow zone in Illinois, we're supposed to start our gardens in like May, mid-May, something like that. No, 1st of May. I started mine mid-May. And our first freeze is like mid-October, so I got a little time yet to replant some stuff. So, and that's what we have here. This is my just in case things that didn't grow. I have lost a few things. We did have a tragedy in the garden yesterday. We'll get to that. But if you want to see what's going on, stick around. I'll be right back. So as I was saying, this is my just in case stuff. We got a bell pepper that I started a little later than everybody else. We got a couple pumpkins. We got a tomato back here, which is actually a sucker. I broke it off, threw it in here to see if it'd grow, and I got lucky. Here we have a zucchini because, you know, I did actually lose three zucchinis already this year. We have a couple pumpkins here and a strawberry that was growing in a random place, so I dug it up and I haven't replanted it yet. Also, back in May, I took some store-bought lettuce and rooted it and threw it in this cup. This is what I got. It started growing 3 different stalks off of one. Let's take that back. It's growing a 4th. Look at that. I might actually cut these off and replant that. But yeah, don't throw your table scraps away. Try to reroot it, see what you get. Back here, I have a late tomato and a couple cucumbers I threw in a cat litter bag. I don't know if you can see this plastic bin, but I try to root water from the bottom up with these plants. And I'll take you off the tripod and show you my potatoes. There's a slightly better look. Pumpkins, strawberry, another pumpkin, pepper, zucchini, pineapples that I've had growing for over a year. I bought those from the store. Like I said, that was some romaine lettuce. I just rerouted it, bought it from the store. A sucker that I broke off of a tomato. Don't actually remember even what kind of tomato it was. And then my potatoes. So these potatoes I actually grew from store-bought stuff last year, harvested them and used them for seed this year. I planted these potatoes in those cat litter or cat food bags just to see if it'd work, at the same time as I planted those way out there in the garden. But let's go check out the garden. That's what you're here for anyway. Alright, so as always, my first stop on the way to the garden is the berry patch. I don't know if you can see it or not over here. I have a bunch of strawberries. There's 2 blueberry plants in there, and 2 of the strawberries are everberries. Don't know what everberries are. All summer long they produce berries, where the other ones produce just in the summer. I have a few cherry tomato plants. They are cherry 101s. They've been volunteering for the last 7 years, so I just kind of keep them separate over here. I tie them up with a string. Yeah, I guess you could see that. And just wrap them around from time to time. Rake off any dead stuff. Oh. One thing I like about not using pesticides, you see a nice big berry, just pop it in your mouth. All right, well, this looks pretty good, and I better get out of here, otherwise I'll just be feeding my face for the next 5 minutes. We're gonna head over here and check out the, I don't know, I guess we'll start at the Hugelkultur Mound. Okay, now this is the Hugelkultur Mound. I actually don't have anything planted on the mound at the moment. I'm just using it for melons to grow over. Got to manage your space, correct? But at the front of this, I got 2 watermelon plants. They're doing pretty good. Volunteer tomato. Why? Just because I accidentally planted 2 cucumbers in here. Imagine that. And then I got a variety of cantaloupes. I believe an unnamed cantaloupe, a crane melon, and then another specialty kind of cantaloupe. And those 2 big tall tomatoes back there are Baker Creek's German pink tomatoes. They're doing great. I planted 5 off the bat out here. I planted 3 down by the barn at another garden we'll go see here in a little bit. They're doing great. Germination rate was killer, so I was really impressed. The rest of the tomatoes, besides those 5, they'll all be volunteers. Let's go check out what's over here. Like I was saying, this was the melon patch, and we got some watermelons. We got tons and tons of yellow flowers. Cucumbers are doing their thing. But here's one of those crane melons. Those crane melons look like watermelons, don't they? We're talking about, what, 6'2", 6'4" maybe on these tomatoes. How about that? Does that work? I mean, they're pretty decent sized tomatoes. Look at those. So here's the cantaloupes that we have. We have the normal, regular cantaloupes. We have this white albino looking thing. Oh, squash bug. And then we have these light green looking things. The traps are doing good. These are white spine cucumbers. These are a crossbreed volunteer tomato. I got lots of them. So this is my straw bale garden. Hey, there's Tennessee. Here's the straw bale garden. I got 2 rows of 5 straw bales and fence posts on each side with a fence on the north side. My bell peppers. Here's one of the tragedies I had yesterday. I found this guy knocked over. You can tell it started growing upright, so I don't know how long it was over. At least 12-14 hours. I've harvested 1 bell pepper so far.
Oh, we got peppers on here. Tons of flowers. Ain't that the cutest little watermelon you've ever seen? I don't know how this is still growing. I mean, it's broke right here. Look at that. It's all brown and nasty, but still, it survives. More of these, I believe they were a husky tomato when they began life 4 or 5 years ago. So here in these straw bales, we have a tomato, volunteer, a pepper, a cucumber, and a watermelon, all growing out of the same straw bale. Now this one, it's growing out of the ground next to the straw bale. But we have one watermelon, a loofah, a cucumber, another cucumber, and another watermelon out of the same straw bale. Oh, I believe there's a volunteer tomato on the back half of it coming out of that straw bale also. But look at this loofah. I mean, this thing is huge. Only one plant and it's taken over. Big yellow flowers. Look at that tomato. That's a cherry tomato. You want to talk about a run of cherry tomatoes, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at these tomatoes up here. We're picking tomatoes up over my head. So this fence post is a little over 6 foot tall. I could reach approximately 8 foot tall, and that tomato was taller than I could reach for sure by at least a foot. But since we're on this half of the garden, we had some tragedy over here, just 3 more bales down. But let's start at this end bale. So I planted this poor little sunflower on the edge next to whatever kind of flower this is my mother gave me. Don't know what it is, but it's doing really good in the straw bale. I mean, look at it. We have a little pumpkin right here. Did I say pumpkin? Sorry, watermelon. This cucumber, not doing so good, but doing a lot better since I put this trap next to it. So in the same bale with the cucumber and the flower, there is potatoes. These seem to be doing good, but there was 4 of them. This one got hit by a tomato worm. These potatoes also put off seed. From what I was told, these are called real potato seeds. This straw bale here used to have 4 watermelon in it. One of them got eaten by something earlier in the year. And then we have a volunteer tomato growing on the edge of it. I have no idea what this is. I'll throw a clip into what happened here yesterday. There was 4 potatoes growing real nice in that straw bale. I caught something eating it. And out of 4 big plants, these are the only 2 potatoes I found. So I think it was a vole. V-O-L-E. Look at that little watermelon back there. So yeah, here is the potato that was getting eaten yesterday.
You can see it still had flowers on it. They ate it right at the root. But I had potatoes on this corner also, and that corner. We're going to dig those up here in a minute. But here's some more of those big tomatoes. The pink Germans. I mean, they're bigger in my hand. They're huge. But here's these pink German tomatoes. These things are huge. I mean, look at this. Baker's Creek, you did a good job. So we have a couple more watermelon here on this backside. Here is 3 more of the Baker Creek seeds. German pink tomatoes. These were late starts just in case the other ones died off. They seem to be doing pretty good. This is a last minute mound that I did. I dug a big trench, put a bunch of sticks in it, and then reburied it. We have a zucchini, a second zucchini, and then 2 pumpkins down here on the end. Then that leads me to this other experiment that didn't go well. I tried planting a bunch of different stuff in it, but it didn't make it. So I threw a bunch of tomatoes in there, and this is what we got. We have 3 random tomatoes that were volunteers that I just jumped in there, and then we have 5 Romas. My mother's already getting Romas, harvesting Romas, and mine are just now coming on, so I'm a little behind. Well, it looks like the cat's made it over here already. My attempt at corn, I don't know if it's going to do any good or not. We've got 3 different varieties in this little bitty patch, and I've only got a couple little ears. Everything's got tassels, but no ears. Alright, somewhere in this mess I got a couple potatoes. Oh, looky there. Something was eating that one too. Let's dig these up and see if there's any left. Yep, gone. Gone. I gotta be careful, there's a tomato right here. Well, you know what? I got enough of these, I don't care if I lose it. Now I want to save this dirt, or this, I guess it started its life off as a bunch of grass. Look, it sucked the plant inside. It sucked the plant inside of whatever this is. Not a single potato. Whatever it is, it had a nest. Nice little hole in there, and it just ate everything. There's another hole right here. Well, no potatoes there. Alright, we had potatoes right here also at one point in time. Actually, there's still a couple right here. I don't know if you can see that. But let's dig this up and see if anything's here.
see all kinds of holes. Not a single potato though. I just found a potato skin. Yep, they ate that too. Alright, there's a hole. I believe it is a mouse or a vole that is eating the potatoes. I don't think we're going to have any luck here. They've all been eaten off. I did just prove a point to myself though. If you rebury something, it will grow potatoes. There's one. That one's been eaten off too. Got one. Oh, that's a big hole there. Well, looks like I'm getting one potato, guys. I don't want to go too far into get into the roots of this cucumber over here, but I do not believe I'm getting any potatoes out of this. Yeah, the holes go, they eat everything. I guess my message to you is get out there and do something, even if it's wrong. And don't forget, smile while you still have teeth. See you next time.